getting it straight with fam. Here I am, Bobby B. I got my boys with me again today. Joshua and Jordan, we about to go ahead on and bring it like we always do. Talking about them Cowboys, how we always do it. Sometimes we get on our nerves with the things we do. But they're still our boys, and we're going to handle it. But look at, we made it though. We made it. Every time we get to this point, everybody got all these questions. What are we going to do in the playoffs? Can you beat somebody with a winning team? All of these questions come up, and we keep answering because we're a better team this year. Regardless of what they're looking like, we're a better team. And we got to show these boys that we are a better team. That's just the way it is right now. So we got this game tomorrow. Guys, we got this game tomorrow. We're going to our rivalry, the Washington Commanders. You know what I'm saying? I started to say Commandos. Man, that's going to be an interesting game because
Command done.
That's going to be a very interesting game because this is the thing is that the way we're sitting right now, it should be a blowout. But I know that we always have, but you know what? I'm going to take that back because we always say the division game play us the best. But the last time we were playing Washington, man, we were blowing them out, with division or not, right? We was handling our business. They just can't compete against us. But here we go again, and I hope we don't go back, back to the whole group of things like we back in the day that, they're going to give us our best game. They're going to upset us because they're looking at chops ready to upset the Dallas Cowboys for making it hard on us in our playoffs. But we're going to be on the playoffs regardless. But, and we're going to talk about this a little later, but should we want the harder road or should we just get there and get it done? I know we got split decision on whether or not. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But talking about this game tomorrow, this question I've been hearing a lot of people talk about, and I want to know what you guys think because now we got Tyler Smith, he's on the edge. We got Tyrone Smith, he's on the edge. We got all these players that's pretty that's pretty beat up. How important this game is going to be? Should we sit these guys? Should we? Make sure that our number 2 seed is just that important that we play everybody and we come out there to take it because our home winning is our best route and not and away games are Achilles heel. So you let me know. Joshua, come on, tell me what you got about that, but this game tomorrow. What do you think?
So this is what I think. I think that you can double dip, if you will, right? So I know a lot of people were talking about like resting their starters or playing their starters. But before I go into that, I'm gonna give you guys the injury list, right? So Jonathan Allen, everybody knows Jonathan Allen, right? Defensive tackle for the Washington Commanders. He's out. Kendall Fuller, cornerback's out. Tariq Castro-Fields, cornerback out. And Christian Holmes, I think he's also a cornerback, is out. So you have 3 cornerbacks and 1 star defensive tackle, right? And you have a couple of people that are pretty hurt, right? So I think since Josh Allen is not playing, I think the Dallas Cowboys I think they'll be good with Bash in there, right? So I mean, if they have to, right, rest Tyler Smith, because nobody knows who they're playing, right? So there's a potential of having a good line or a good front or a bad front when it comes to the playoffs. So I mean, you can have the potential. So I think resting him will probably be better, right? And so with Jonathan Hankins, though, he hasn't been playing for a minute. So on the other side, I think probably getting him a couple snaps, getting the rust off of him would probably be good. So I think you can, for some people you can rest them. Some people are going to have to play them based on like how much they've been playing this year and how much they've been playing recently. So I honestly think that Tyler Smith should sit and Jonathan Hankins should not sit and he should play. So that's what I think. And it's very important to play the starters, but it's also important to rest them just so that they can still get a feel for the game. So just based on how the game is going, hopefully they'll be winning pretty handily, and they should probably be starting the rest of their starters come halftime. What say you, Jordan?
Yeah, I honestly I don't think it makes a difference who is and isn't in this game. It's just gonna be a easy Dallas Cowboy win. So they could put him in for a couple series, take him out, whatever. I mean, coach's decision. That I think I could see the sides. I could see both sides saying like, take him out, don't start him, or start him, let him play, get his feet wet, yada yada yada. I don't know. It's up to whatever the like. We don't know what the coaches and how the players. I mean, I didn't watch any locker room film. Let's see what they said in the press conferences between the players. See how they felt. But if they play, they play. If they don't, they don't. They should still win this game regardless. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So basically, you both are saying that it's not that important to win this game, or are you saying that because of the players, you don't think you're going to lose, so play them or not is irrelevant at this point? Which one? What did you say?
Okay, so
That's
yeah,
what
I
I'm
probably didn't
saying.
answer the question
That's what
probably
I'm
well
saying.
enough. So yes, I think it's more important to win this game to have that number 2 seed, right? Because the Dallas Cowboys are exponentially better. You can go wins, losses, stats, offensive yards, defensive yards, all the way around. They're just a better team when it comes. I don't know why. Maybe because they can hear the the cadences of Dak Prescott, as opposed to the other stadiums, stuff like that. So I think it's very, very extremely important to get this win tomorrow, because for them it's a lot easier. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it will be easier to progress through the playoffs than it would if they weren't playing at home.
So you saying that they can hear that better? So do you really think that just by hearing this cadence and stuff like that, being home, you think that's what might be the reason why we can't take what we do at home on the road? Because I mean, that is a good question, because I mean, same players. Why can't we take that on the road? What's going on with that?
I mean, defense carries on the road, and the run game carries on the road, right? So, I mean, that's also a case too. And Dallas Cowboys have not been, whether it's home or away, been I should say better than average when it comes to the run game, right? So at times, I know my brother's probably disagreeing with me, but I just think that towards competition, they're a lot better at home than they are away, and a lot of times that run game doesn't carry over on the road. So I think that's an issue. What say you, Jordan?
Hmm. Interesting.
The run game might as well be 32nd in my opinion in the league. Whatever. I don't care what the stats say. They're 15th or whatever. It's below average because it's not it's not about how many yards they've been putting up. It's about, I guess, I can't. What's the word I'm looking for? Uh, in the moment of the game, how you utilize the run game, and we don't. We we just we just don't utilize the run game at how we
Effectively.
effectively and how we should, especially in key game moments, and and just sticking with it. We don't stick with it. So yeah, so everything you said outside of the run game, I do believe our defense has the ability to show up. I think they have some games, and we just haven't really pieced it together on the road with incredible offense on the road with incredible defense. It's always been like this or that or that or this, but you can kind of chalk that up to coaching too. Getting everybody prepared the same. I don't know what you're doing differently at home versus what you're doing differently on the road. Like I don't know what's being lost in translation, what the sentiment is. Like I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not in those locker rooms. I am just observing what I see on film, on the all 22, and it is drastically different. And it's kind of like uh unhinging because you this is why we do need to win the game against the Commanders, so we can at least have two home games until we play the San Francisco 49ers. And from there, it's pretty much the 49ers game to lose. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
So that's crazy that you said that. And um, one thing I do know is that, and it just it's mind boggling to me that we have the same players going from home to away games, teams that we should shut out. We should completely shut them down. We go out there and seem like the whole game changes. And that's what concerns me because we're about to go to a game that we should, just by looking at our players, our talent that we have on our roster, based on the injuries for Washington, how can we blow that up? How could we? What would be the main issue, the key that will stop us outside of injury? What would be the key that caused us to blow up this game?
The run game, the run defense. That's, I mean, if you're saying if there's a way to fumble the game away, the run defense, run offense, and they're just not, they have a stale offensive scheme, right? And so, that's the only thing that I can think of that will cause them to lose this game.
What you got, Jordy?
They had to have 4 turnovers in order for them, 4 or 5 turnovers in order for them to lose this game. Even if they have 2 turnovers in this game, it's not enough for them to lose, in my opinion.
I believe we can go in this game 0 turnover and lose this game.
I don't see that at all.
And the reason why I say that is because who's calling our plays? We can be doing some stupid stuff.
Come on, okay.
We could be doing some stupid stuff.
I don't like him as the coordinator, but come on, Dad.
You thinking that he coming? You think that Washington is just that bad that even McCarthy can't screw that up? That's what you're saying?
Okay, if we're going there, then we need to do the same thing with the defensive coordinator too.
I don't care. We can do it both.
His thing hasn't been up to standards too.
That is true.
If we really want to go there,
yes, let's go. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the things that I saw this dude do was doing lately is, I mean, we should have not been nowhere close to Detroit. Based on, regardless of how Detroit, they numbered this and they numbered that and all of this, their placement. But the way we played that game, we should have ran away with it. We should have. There was no reason why. What I got out of the Detroit game, we are a better team than them. Unless somebody sees something different. You know what I'm saying? Because Dak Prescott showed out, just like he's been doing. I don't see us being as close as people are saying, but they made it close. They made it close to make it seem like, well, them two NFL, they both are alike teams. I don't think so. Outside of the run game, no. Outside of the run game, I think we are a lot better offensive squad than they were.
It's funny that you say that, right? Because you're gonna have to say that he was. You're gonna have to say that coordinator was better than the Detroit Lions, or the coach was better than the Detroit Lions.
I say our team, but our coaches, right. So, our coaches made it. Our coaches made it that way.
He's not the best in the world, but he's not the worst in the world.
But that's
there are
extremes,
very
though.
Bad offensive coordinators.
That's right. There's two extremes.
I'll disagree with that. I think Detroit is right there with it. They're 11-5. We're 11-5. I think they, just like we were mad about the Eagles game, saying, "Hey, we could have beat them. They just got away." That I feel like if you're a Lions fan or you're a Lions team, you feel the same way. Like, hey, next time we play the Dallas, like, you have confidence. Like, you came in there and you made it a really close game at home where we were being blowing everybody out. And there's two things they do great that we don't do great, and there's 2 things we do great and that they don't do great. We play pass coverage defense, really good. The Lions do not. They play the run defense really good. The Dallas Cowboys, we do not. We throw the ball really well. The Lions, it's not that they don't, but I think our quarterback's just better. So they slightly can throw. They can throw a little bit. I mean, except that game, even with him throwing 2 picks, they could have almost messed around and came away with a win. It was real close. Regardless of all the calls, take out all the calls, they still really close. It was 2-point conversion. That coach, didn't want to kick the field goal and send it into overtime. So you got that, and then their run game is far superior, and I think those two things, can put them in a game with us. Like if it's 7 out of 7, it was 7 game series. I think they can go. They can take it to game 7, either or. It all depends on who shows up that day, as far as coordinators and players.
Yeah, that's my thing though. It's always the coordinators because I hear what you're saying and I agree, but to a certain extent. But I believe that the play calling that we was getting for Detroit games, we should have been on the board. Even though there was a couple of things that happened, like the fumble, I get that. But from CeeDee Lamb at the goal line, I get that. But we should have been on the board a lot more. We should have been. And I think the play calling is
based on
horrible.
if we're just doing teams, right? If we're doing teams, right?
Teams, yeah.
So
no,
we can
I was,
only
I
go
was just
by
saying. I was just
history.
saying, team. We're better.
We can go by history, right? So even this year, right, against the Commanders, what was the score between the Commanders and the Cowboys? Right,
in the first game,
45. Yeah,
45-10. Right. It seems to me that the offense is doing that. The offensive coordinator seems to do pretty well against the Commanders. Right. So the only thing so I think the scheme is going to be fine.
And we
right?
was home too. Now I remember that. But go ahead.
Say again.
We were home.
Okay, it doesn't matter. So the scheme will be fine. And that team was better beforehand than it is now. They're resting not a lot. They're resting like about 3 or 4 key players right now. So you mean to tell me that team beforehand and the team now is going to be playing a lot better than they are beforehand? No, they're not. The only thing that's going to happen is, the execution part. The plays are going to be there, right? He's not going to play. He's not going to throw plays to lose the game, especially with so much at stake. So they're going to play a lot. They're going to play, I won't say aggressively, but they're going to play to win that game. So I don't see where the scheme wise, the coordinator is going to really,
bobble us up.
Bobble this up. It's going to be the execution part.
Oh, okay. I hear you, but we're going to watch this game tomorrow together, and I know afterwards we're going to be talking about it. If this game becomes close, I promise you it'll be because of stupid calls.
Or it can be because of the fact that it was turnovers, like Jordan was saying, right?
Yeah, I don't think we'll lose the game because of bad calls. We would have to cough up 4 turnovers in order for them to beat us.
Okay. And I'm glad you had that kind of faith in McCarthy.
It could definitely be special teams too, right? It can be muff punts. It can be a lot of these things that's giving them, So
yeah,
I'm hoping he proved. I'm hoping he proved me wrong.
Dak does not we want to say rivalry, but as long as Dak's been on the starter for the Cowboys, it ain't been a rivalry.
Toast. You're right. It has been.
So that's why I'm like. So that's why I'm like, unless Dak's not playing
barbecue
in the game, yeah, it's gonna be barbecue chicken and burnt barbecue chicken because that's
that's why a lot of players, a lot of fans for the other teams does not want Dak Prescott to be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. They've been doing everything they can to be like, oh, the Dallas Cowboys shouldn't have Dak, this, that, and the other. It's because of the fact of how good Dak is, right? But anyway, that's besides the point. The point is that it's all going to come down to execution, and I think they're not. I think this team is going to have their head on straight, and they're going to be like, they're definitely going to need to win this game.
Well,
so that's what their mindset is.
I think also the proof is in the pudding all year. We've been putting trash teams away all year.
Yes.
Outside of the Cardinals game.
Yes.
I don't think I think it's going to be another blowout game where everyone's like, oh, they blew out the team that they're supposed to blow out. But
yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
That's also, it doesn't mean anything. But I think for us and for me, it does mean something because, before there have been years where we couldn't do that, where we'd play down to our opponent and then we'd let them in. This year, I'll give Mike McCarthy that. When it's a bad team, he let them know it's a bad team.
Yeah.
So, I think Mike McCarthy calls games differently when it's. I feel like he puts more pressure on himself when it's an above 500 team, like when it's the Lions, Dolphins, Bills. Like he calls games differently in certain situations and scenarios. And I'm like, oh, why you do that? Why you do that? It feels like when he gets up, he like feels more relaxed about, okay, let's just let it fly. Versus like when he's down, okay, we need to run the ball more here. We need to do this here. And it's not in the flow of the game and what's actually happening situationally. So
Yes, I
but
agree.
so
Well,
I agree.
I think with the Commanders, he gonna be like, oh yeah, let's let the thing fly, and he's
Bombs
gonna
away.
exactly. It's about to be bombs over Baghdad.
Yeah,
but you know,
literally
but
was
you know
just
what
thinking
though?
about that too.
But you know what though?
So
It's like this though. But see, that's what I've been noticing. I've been noticing that the fact that when we are up in the game, he becomes a genius. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How he plays.
that's why we just gotta get up, Dad.
Right, but we not, man. This dude, we see him like, duh.
Yeah, his
You know, I
his
mean,
lower back start getting tight, and
that's what's frightening me. You know what I'm saying? Because and I know I am looking ahead of the game. I know I'm looking way ahead, but I can't wait to see San Francisco, and hopefully that'll be at San Francisco. You know, but you know what? You never
Hopefully.
know. There's, things that happen. You might don't even see San Francisco, but somebody of them not took them out. You know, which would be funny. I
they
would love
gotta
to see
play
that,
two
but
games
still.
to get to the Super Bowl. They gotta play 2 games to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then
So,
hopefully one of
it-
those games will be us, right? So
Yes.
they got so
somebody knocks them out before us.
that be
Yeah,
that one
okay.
game. It'd be funny, but anything can
Yeah,
happen
that'd be
though. Any
crazy.
given Sunday. Now tell me this,
Yeah, no, it is very true. That would just be crazy.
but you know what? Now tell me this
Because it's
right
only
now,
us and the 49ers to me. Like,
right?
everybody else, I mean, I guess Lions. So it's like 49ers way up here, right? They're like A plus. Dallas here, we're around A. And then, I think Lions are like right here, A minus. And then everybody else. I don't
Yeah,
see I don't see if the 49ers lose somebody in the second round, I'll be
I don't know. They
shocked.
might be nervy, man, because they got the brakes put on them the other day by them
I was
Those are
Baltimore
the
going with
Ravens.
Ravens, though.
though.
Those are Ravens.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
Ravens-
true. But I'm
Ravens are
just saying
nasty.
though. But
They're nasty.
Yeah.
it's almost like what that Rocky movie when what the Russian guy name was Dragu or
But
something.
that wasn't last week though, was it? No, he bounced back last week.
I can't remember what that. I thought it was no. I think it was the last week. I can't remember because after that game, it was so funny that they got beat down. It was crazy. No, I think they won this last week. So I think
Yeah, I
it's
think they
the
played
week
somebody
before
else.
last.
I think he bounced back already.
Yeah, but the team that they
And
played this time though, this past week was like below 500. I think. Still, they won. I think I can't remember. You had to.
Yeah,
look.
they played the Cardinals and they dropped 45 on the Cardinals, 45 to 29. No, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It was the Commanders, 27-10.
Yeah, I'm say because I know Eagles lost to the Cardinals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say that again? The Eagles lost to the Cardinals. They beat us.
We
up.
lost
We
to the
did beat
Cardinals
us up.
too, but-
They beat us up when we lost to the Cardinals, huh?
Sure did.
You know, what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, that is crazy. Okay, going to this
It's
postseason.
crazy. Hold on. Dak is 10-2 versus the the Washington Redskins. Yeah, I ain't worried about them dudes.
That's funny.
he about to be 11-2.
All right, now check this out. Now, looking at our front office, and we were talking about this offline earlier today, because every time somebody come free, we always say, man, Jerry Jones should go grab this guy. This guy get open, Jerry Jones should go grab this guy. And Jerry like, nope, I like our players. We're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna do anything. We know. And then all of the good players go, to other teams. I laugh because even last night I was talking to the guys here, and I was like, yeah, it would have been nice if we went to grab Cook. He like, Jerry Jones won't grab anybody. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then all of a sudden we get, Racy McMath, all Pro Bowler, right? No. Then, So so we got these guys that he went again. I want you guys to tell me about these guys because I really don't know. Outside of, La'el Collins, I don't know the rest of these guys, so you guys gonna have to tell me because they went on and did something. So what the front office? What are they saying? What are they saying, and what are they trying to do or trying to fill up? What holes or whatever? Who taking it? Any one of you could just come in and tell me because I want to know because I have no clue.
So Lyle, so they picked up about four personnel, right? So Lyle Collins, Cowboys legend, right tackle.
Legend.
Damian Wilson, another
Legend.
Cowboys legend, linebacker.
What?
So Roderick Thompson, I think he played on the Seattle Seahawks, and Racing McMath. I forgot who he played. I think it was the Tennessee Titans. What Racing McMath played for, if I remember correctly. But here's the thing, right? The Damian Wilson, Lyle Collins. I think he's going to be left guard, right? I think he's going to be on the left guard aspect because of what's going on with Tyler Smith, right? And then on top of that, I mean, which is crazy because you have Bash in there. So I guess I don't know. I guess he's like the third string or fourth string, And so you have that, and then you have Damian Wilson, linebacker. That seems to me like he's going to be a special teams player. I don't know necessarily of who, as far as linebacker goes, he's going to like relieve somebody, but we also remember that Rashawn Evans is not playing either. So I hope he's more special teams, but probably an emergency linebacker. I think we're going to go with the safety aspect when it comes to the linebackers. Racing McMath, Deuce Vaughn. I don't know if everybody saw that, but Deuce Vaughn is on IR now.
Didn't know.
With an ankle. I don't know if he's hurt or not, but I mean, that's interesting, whatever. And once again, Martavius Wilson, excuse me, I said Martavius Wilson. Wow. Martavius Bryant was released. So I don't know if they just needed some other wide receiver in there. So also, I think he's also a, I think, special team / emergency wide receiver type deal. So those are the guys right there. But it's going to be interesting. I don't know where Lyle Collins goes at, but if he stays with the team for next year, I mean, that's going to be an interesting fact as far as your right tackle goes. But we'll see what happens.
You think he's going to take homeboy spot next year?
I don't know. I mean, we also have to realize that.
Because he was sitting on the couch.
Okay. Let me back up here. Lyle Collins, even when he was playing on the Tennessee, on the Cincinnati Bengals, I think he was playing worse than Terrence Steele is playing right now.
Yeah,
right?
He was. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What you're trying to say?
But I will say this though, from reports and a lot of stuff, like he is, from what I hear, is completely healthy and he looks a lot more explosive. And so I don't know what that really means, but all I'm saying is this.
I will tell you too. I don't know how you get more explosive the older you get. I ain't never heard of that.
Well, I mean, you can. I'm not saying you can get more explosive, but you can become more healthy. But one thing's for sure though. This next year, it's tackle's going to be one of the number one needs for the Dallas Cowboys, whether it's Tyron Smith or Terrence Steele, and you can't disagree with me with that.
Oh, you said on either side. You said on
either side.
You said Tyron Smith?
Tyron Smith because he's getting older, and Terrence Steele because we don't know exactly. We thought that his play was going to get better, but his play is not getting any better.
That Tyron Smith.
No, not T. Smith. I'm talking about Terrence Steele.
But Tyron Smith, man, he's seen something like he's almost like LeBron.
I thought we were giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's coming off an injury.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that. Like, okay, now maybe next year
even if coming off injury, I think still has done a decent job. I think that.
I mean, there are some games
I think that he
only. I would say, and this is also on the coaching and situational football. He only cost us one game, but in reality, it really didn't fall on him because
he could have cost him a couple of games.
Coach could have helped him. That's what you're saying. Coach could have helped him. That's what you're saying. Coach could have put somebody back there with him, knowing that he injured.
What was that game? That was the
could have put a tight end back there.
Eagles
Not
game.
just
There's
that
Miami.
whole
The Miami game. The Miami game, he wasn't doing too well either. But it's
no,
because of the fact that Chuma Doga was a lot worse than him because he was. It's not the fact that like Chuma Doga was not because of his physical aspects. It's because like I don't think he knew the plays.
show me how many sacks that Steele's given up this season.
I think he's given up like among the league's most. I think he's given like 26 point something. I think above that pressures.
Can't be
So
26.
I think he's like.
I was gonna say
It's pretty
can't be
bad.
all 26. Dax has gotten sacked 39 times, but I'm not.
But he's
I
given
will
up a
put
lot of
money on it
pressures.
that it's not
That-
26.
that's
on
a
He's
it.
among
lot.
the league's worst when it comes to giving up
But
pressure.
that
Okay, I
means
don't
that
care
that
about
means that
pressure.
just
I
he
don't
give
care
up
about pressure. I
three
don't care
quarters.
about pressure. I'm saying how many sacks did he give up? Pressure, whatever. Like I don't care about pressure because you can bring pressure and still not get the quarterback. The quarterback still get the ball off and score a touchdown with pressure.
I don't know, man.
Like that's just a part of the job. Getting,
Well,
you know, if you can't throw with pressure in your face,
we might have
it
to
is what
disagree
it
with
is.
that one because here's
Yeah,
my
does
thing.
it matter? Yes, because it might hurry up a throw. But at the end of the day, like you gotta learn how to play with pressure in your face. Anyway, I want to know
I
how
don't
many
know.
sacks he's giving up.
And I'll say this though: the reason why Micah Parsons is
Because
the runnings
even if he gave up the most pressure, Dak is still 68% completion rate, which means he's third in the league.
I mean, that's just saying how good Dak is. But I'm just saying
That's my point. Like
the reason why
the pressure
but
to
he-
Dak
here's-
might not affect. It
I
might
think
not matter to
they
him
think
as much versus
while
maybe
sacks does
Jared
matter a
Goff.
little bit more. I
Yes.
think pressures are very important too, and this is the reason why Micah Parsons he's about to be nominated,
But
not
Micah-
nominated, but he's about to be
he's not, but
defensive player of the year because he's the
not.
number
He's
one
not-
in pressures.
No, that's not going to get you defensive player of the years.
But
that's
that's part of the
but that's-
reason why he's
It's
being
not
because of it.
But it's not. That is not going to get you defensive player of the year.
Well, he's
because
pretty up there. So
I don't. Yeah, he's up there for getting pressure, but getting home and getting pressure are two different things. That's
yeah,
like
but
us.
he's
But
probably
hold on,
he's
to
Go
me,
ahead.
I don't care. I don't care about pressure. It's yes. Yeah, does it help at times? Yes, because you're making the quarterback say, "Hey, I have to hurry up because he's getting close." But if you can maneuver around, because he can get close, but then go right by him, that's still pressure.
He
But-
allowed eight sacks this season.
Okay, 8 sacks. See, that's not
That's
bad.
a lot.
That's not.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
In a 17 game season.
39
That's a
sacks.
lot.
He allowed 8 of them. I mean, 30 sacks had to come from somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not all Steele. Like
I'm just saying. I think he's ranked number like
8 sacks
30 or 40
8
something
sacks
in the
over
league.
8 sacks over the whole season ain't that bad.
He's has not been good this year.
Especially if we're talking situationally.
I know you. Look, I just don't think Terrence Steele.
I'm just saying we're talking about because the thing is you say not playing that well, and I'll say I think he's played decent. I think he's gotten better in the latter half of the year versus the earlier this year, especially coming off injury. I think he's done a decent job. I would give him if the season ends today, I'll give him a C+.
Oof.
And
C
that
minus
and look,
is the
and
most
he-
I'm giving him.
And
I'm not giving him an F. I'm not giving him an F, but
because I know I guarantee you if they put him on the trade block right now, we get a second round pick for him. And
okay,
that's
then
more-
let's do it.
Oh, you're tripping. You're tripping.
Let's do it.
Because then you're gonna have you don't know who come in and play, and that's gonna be 10 times worse.
Let's
Like, what are we
let's
talking
do it.
about? Let's talk about before Steele got here and before Collins got here. Like what?
You had Doug Free, right? You had
Doug Free, that
Lyle
was
Collins.
Romo. I'm saying when he was injured too, because he
he had Lyle
in and out.
Collins, and there he was
was
part of
in
the
and out.
you know
He was part
he
of
was
the
part
no
of
show
the
club.
famous five.
He was part of the no show club.
You know,
Terrence still has not been playing to what
To
his
what?
level of play
To
is.
what? 'Cause,
Nowhere
first
close
of all,
to it.
because we had this whole debate about Collins and Steele, and I told you I'm taking Steele over Collins back when Steele had the starting job. So and then the next season he gets injured. He was doing good, got injured. Now he's coming back off of injury, and you're holding them to this standard of he should play like he wasn't injured when he just came off an injury, and we all know that that's impossible.
Well,
Okay, I'm gonna
there's
say
only
this
10
though. I'm gonna
teams.
say this though. Terrence Steele, yeah, he had 8 sacks, but that's eighth in the league. That's eighth in the league.
What you mean
Top
eighth in the
10,
league?
8 in the league. Like the eighth worst in the league. So
among
I mean,
among among all starting
tackles,
right tackles.
You always talking about right tackles, right?
just all tackles combined. You would think because the fact that he's a right tackle, right, that people can escape out of that, right? We can be honest with ourselves and say that his level of play has been, I'm not going to say trash, but it's been almost mediocre this year. We can be
Well,
honest with ourselves.
But look, you know what's funny though? When I'm looking at
I
this
don't
right
know.
here, when I'm looking at this right here, we are there's only 10 teams that have less sacks than the Cowboys this year. Only 10. The 49ers are the first one to have the least sacks, and that's 31. They have 31 sacks. And the Saints 32, the Rams 32, Steelers 33, the Eagles 34, the Ravens 37, the Buccaneers 37, the Raiders 37, the Seahawks 38, and the Falcons 39. That's all. And you have everyone else above that having 40, 41, 42 from, I'm trying to figure out who's doing it. Well, look, Commanders allow 61, so we should have a feast day tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, look, you're not going to get, I'm not asking for Terrence Steele to be Pro Bowl, right? I'm not,
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
not, we're not asking for that.
That's exactly what you're asking for. Though.
I'm asking for him to be a regular, like, not like
But what
just
is
a
that
regular starter.
among the league? It's not.
He's ranked like 30 something among the league.
What is his rank? Show me his rank on PFF. Pull it up.
Who?
Because I don't think Steele's rank among the league. I could tell you. I could tell you he's probably not ranked.
Who's that?
Lyle Collins, because he ain't playing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
All I know is I think you're putting too much on and too much pressure on a guy. You know, yeah, you could circle him and alienate him and throw him under the bus. Is it warranted? I guess if that's how you want to operate. Like if anytime somebody's doing a horrible job, or now I won't say horrible. Anytime somebody's doing slightly underachieving to what they did the year prior, even though the year prior you didn't want them on the team, you didn't want him starting over Collins, but I don't know, the coaches saw something else and let Collins go and stuck with Steele. So I would say I was right in that instance. I think that I don't know in the long run, in long term, if Steele is the guy, but I know that I've seen what he can be, which is a really good, solid B+ player. And I know even if he's coming off an injury, he's still going to be a C+ player. And yes, he's not going to be able to take out, your top tier DNs, and he can be had. But if I know that, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna, help Chip. I'm gonna help bring the running back on his side every now and again. But I know at least he ain't gonna give up 8 sacks in one game. I know he ain't gonna do that. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think last year was a Pro Bowl year for him? Do you think he should have been in
No,
the
I
Pro Bowl
think
last year?
I don't remember everyone's play last year, but I know from just watching his play, I would say I can't say Pro Bowl or not because I don't remember. I can't honestly remember everybody's play amongst
Mm-hmm.
the league last year. I would say that building blocks wise, I was really confident that he could build up to be a Pro Bowl player. That's what I did feel. I was like, okay, he's doing really good. Like
So
he's making gradual steps up. Like he made drastic improvements from year one to year two, especially with year two being a whole starter before getting injured. Yeah.
I think that so he's ranked number 75 as far as tackles go.
Out of how many? Oh, just tackles.
Out of 84.
84.
Wow. Well, that's going to look this is going to be interesting. Right now, going into the playoff right now, where we're sitting at now, if we win this game tomorrow, what would happen? Who we probably most likely see in our first game if we were to win?
So
if we were to win tomorrow,
if the playoffs happen today, right? If we start the playoffs today, if the Dallas Cowboys would be playing the Packers, right? So they have a chance to play the Packers or the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. So that's correct me if I'm wrong.
the Rams are 9-7, the Packers are 8-8.
Yeah,
Right.
whoever wins and loses tomorrow would let
Do
us
the
know.
Rams play the Packers tomorrow?
No, the Rams play the 49ers tomorrow.
Ooh.
And then
Right.
the Packers play the Bears.
But the Rams don't have anything to lose if they lose tomorrow. So the chances are they probably won't even play anyone.
They can get knocked out of the playoffs if they lose tomorrow.
No, I'm talking about the 49ers.
Oh, 49ers, no. But,
So that's why I said they probably won't play anything. Chances are they may not play anyone.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They can because they would still
they hold up. They still be number one, whether they lose or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I think they still clinch. Do they still clinch the bye? I don't know. Do they still clinch the bye? I don't know if they still clinch the bye if they lose tomorrow.
Who?
Well, if they
49ers?
I think they beat us because they beat us. We both would be 12-5. We both would be 12-5.
The 49ers, they already clinched the number 1 seed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because even if they lose tomorrow, if we win, we both be 12-5.
Yeah, they're
resting
on other players. They're sitting like a fat cat right now.
Yeah, but what if they lose tomorrow, but the Lions win? That's what I'm saying. Like
if they lose tomorrow and the Lions win, they still are their number 1 seed.
Yeah, they clinched it. That's what I'm saying. They don't have anything to play for.
By the 49ers. I know we did. So, but I'm trying to. I guess they got the better record in division record.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to figure out why the Lions would. I know why we probably wouldn't get the bye week, but I'm thinking the Lions might still be in the running.
I don't know. I don't know if they played the Lions.
They're going to be resting their starters too. So Lions, they already clinched. They already clinched their division.
49ers lose and the Lions win. They're both sitting at 12-5.
Right, but my point is, I think they played the Lions, didn't they? The 49ers did.
They didn't play Lions.
No, maybe they had more. Maybe
they had
more
down to record or
division
conference wins.
Yeah, or conference. Yeah, that's had to be what it is. But but what I'm saying is, if the Rams playing the 49ers tomorrow, the 49ers don't have anything to lose, or they probably won't play anyone. So the chances are the Rams probably would win, which means then we won't see the Rams. The 49ers would. I mean, no. We won't see the Rams. We'll see the Packers.
All depending on who wins and loses. Even if they rest and they still win.
Well, no, I take that back. If the Rams win tomorrow and the Packers don't, well, if the Rams win tomorrow, we probably end up seeing the Rams our first game because they have a better record than the Packers, and then they're San Francisco.
Right. So the Rams win
would be the number one.
If the Rams win and the what do you call it? The
Packers.
The Packers lose, then yes, they will be seeing the Rams. The Dallas Cowboys will be seeing the Rams, and nobody wants that.
I don't want that.
No, you and Dad don't want that.
I know you want that.
Rams. I don't care. Like, give me the best team and let's
we
win
be playing,
and get them out of the way and go to the next team.
Well, whoever we play, we be playing at home. So that's
what I'm saying. I was like, I don't know why I don't fear any of the teams.
Not at home, I don't. The only one I fear is McCarthy.
bring on the best teams, and so we can run the gauntlet, and we could shut up all the analysts,
Look,
all the
man,
Cowboy naysayers,
the only right,
and go to the next game.
right. The only person who scares me is McCarthy. No one other team scares me.
Now that's true, Josh. That part's true. Him saying we're gonna lose to Commanders because of Mike McCarthy, I'll disagree. But him saying we lose to any of the playoff teams because of Mike McCarthy, I could agree.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a possibility, but like not like these players get paid too, right? Like
yeah, but they don't get paid to run the plays. The players
I don't care how much you run the plays, right? That running game was not working at all
because the scheme we run is stupid. That's why we don't have nobody.
I just don't think that they're.
Look, man, I believe no matter what. Well, I can't say that. I can't tell you who, because I know there's some running backs that's just elusive. But I'm saying, regardless of the players that we have, I mean, you could put back in that backfield if the plays that we running, they ain't getting nowhere anyway.
Well, if that's the
not
case,
creative at all.
You fire Mike Solari. You get mad at Mike Solari. That's the person that you should get scared about. It's Mike Solari or Luna Wells,
right? Or the head coach,
because they're the ones. There's the ones that create.
Who's
the
responsible
blocking
for all of this nonsense going on?
They're the ones that create the running schemes.
You know,
and the run game coordinator. There's actually a run game coordinator.
Be like, oh, okay then. So I guess he's nowhere near in that position to say, you know, these running schemes you guys were giving me is stupid. It ain't working.
It's true, but these guys are not blocking.
And I don't know why we've been running these stupid plays all season.
Let me ask you a question, right? Does it matter? Like, has these players been blocking like they're supposed to when it comes to the run game, or is it because it's been many times where Tony Pollard didn't see the hole well enough, and he picks the wrong hole to go through.
Well, you know what I'm saying? They run a play directly into the defense hand. What can you do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when the defense knows exactly what you're about to do, because you haven't changed since 5 years ago, since you haven't changed your run defense since you were running with Lacey, and everybody knows what you run, so it's the same thing. So like, well, he about to do this right here, bam, backfield. You know what I'm saying? We lost.
It's weird because they've been passing on first downs now, right? They've been getting away from that. Right, and to a fault, right? To a fault.
They have no choice.
To a fault.
Right, you're right.
It's not
to
like
a
they
fault.
have
that
it's not
absolutely.
Like they've been running the same plays, right? It's just the fact that like it's. I'm not trying to say it's not on the offensive coordinator, because it is. He needs to put his team in better situations, right? But these players are not playing well enough, right? Even when they're put in favorable situations, they're not hitting the holes like they need to hit the holes. They're not blocking like they need to block.
I don't believe that.
I'm going to be. I want to be in a game when I'm watching some other teams play, and I want to say things like this, dude. That was a nice play. Oh man, that was a nice game.
We do say that.
What do you mean that's not a nice?
I'm talking about running. I'm not talking about throwing. I'm talking about running game.
Because I'm still trying to figure out if the Dallas Cowboys, like, where they are as far as offense goes. Because the way that we're talking right now, they have to be the bottom.
Nope. I'll say our run game is at the bottom.
And our run game is at the bottom.
Our offense total is high.
Look, the Pollard. I have seen Pollard hit the hole. Like, Pollard's been at the second half of the season too. Pollard's come alive too, and I've seen Pollard run incredibly hard and pick up and make guys miss like he was last year. I seen our O-line at times look reminiscent of the O-line of old, but I noticed that it's with certain run schemes that we run where we were successful. Also, it has to do with
with some tailbacks,
the level of competition too.
The level of competition. But I said we did it versus Detroit though. I seen a couple plays where Pollard picked up first down, picked up 5, picked up 6, 7 yards.
Yeah.
But we all said it though at the beginning of our last podcast that the Detroit Lions, not last podcast, but 2 podcasts before that the Detroit Lions,
I'm just saying what, because you said it a bit. Also, before you interrupted me, you said it also is about the play that the people were playing. And so I was making a point to say, we play the Lions, who's the best defense, but I still saw at times Pollard in the O line being able to move those
Yep.
guys and pick
Yep.
up 6, 7. But
Yep.
we don't keep at
Nope.
that. It's inconsistency.
Nope.
That's the problem with our
That-
run defense is
Thank you.
inconsistency
That's all
and
I'm saying.
bad and bad situational running. Like if you know that defense is strong up the middle, but you keep trying to run Pollard up the gut instead of maybe going to sideline to sideline, or if you know that this team is not good sideline to sideline, and so let's run sideline, like either in and out, like whatever. We just don't have good run schemes, and it's fine. My thing is, it's fine. Just don't try to tell me or feed me the lie that hey,
Right.
we're gonna run the football. Like if you want to be a pass first team,
Just say it.
I'm cool with it. Like just say that.
Just say
like,
it.
It's not, just don't run the ball because I know you don't, and it shows. So
Because he ain't
I'm
fooling
like,
no one. He's
hey,
fooling no one.
I don't care. He's not full, and that's the thing too. That's why we end up like 12-2, 12-2, 12-14, and whatnot. Because sometimes it's super predictable. So just I would be more like, hey, if you don't want to run the ball by throwing screens, hitches, whatever, get the ball out in space and try and get those probably out the ball out in space or whatever, and try to make that your run game. Like, but I don't know, the inconsistency of it all is the real issue.
I get that, right? I understand that they're inconsistent, right? But I just don't think it's just all on the coordinator.
You know what's funny? Because hold
can't
on,
tell
Josh.
me.
Hold on, Josh. You know what's so funny though? Like you giving all this room, all this wiggle room for Mike McCarthy, and what we're saying, but I feel like you don't do that for Steele or any other player on O-line when you feel they're doing bad. This dude
I've been on
doing-
record. I've been on record. Yes, I've been on record this year saying that we should give Terrence Steele the benefit of the doubt because he's coming off an ACL tear.
You just wasn't saying that just a minute ago. But right now, you giving this dude all this leeway about, it might be the run game coordinator. It might be the tight end coach might have put that tight end in the game.
We expected him.
This and da-da-da-da-da. And
right.
I'm like,
we expected him. We expected Terrence Steele to be better as it would come along.
I expect the head coach, the offensive coordinator that got old boy up out of here because he don't run the football. There'll be 10 times. But I expected number one offense in all categories based off of what that dude said to us the end of last year.
So number one offense in all categories. That's unrealistic.
Passing, how's it unrealistic to be number one in passing, number one in the run, or at least top five?
Can you tell who's number one in the passing? What team is number one in passing, number one in the run?
Okay,
I just want to know who's number one in passing.
Fine. Okay, fine, Josh. You can't be both. Okay, but you could be top five in both. Every other week, you might be one in both. Because I've seen the 49ers be one. I've seen 49ers be one in the run and one in the pass. I've seen this year. I've seen the
San Francisco is not number one in the pass.
No, San Francisco number 2 in the pass and number 3 in the run. So that's.
So they're not number one.
Different.
Right.
No, but it's really close.
Points of the season, there was number one in the run and number one in the pass. You want to play semantics, and fine. The at least top five, and they can do it. And I've seen Dallas do it before too, where we were top five in both. I've seen teams be 1 and 2 all throughout the year. That at one point, Miami Dolphins was number one in the pass and number one in the run at one point in this season. So were the 49ers. So were the Ravens.
At 1 point. There's always going to be 1 point, right?
Yes.
But not throughout
that doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean you can't finish. That they could still end up finishing number one.
You're always giving me like these top 3 teams. I'm just saying, like, I just want Terrence Steele to be like a mid tackle.
I just want Mike McCarthy to be a good coordinator.
You want Mike McCarthy to be like elite at the offense.
No, I just want him to be above average.
What?
Above average?
That's all I want him to be.
Offense. So this offense is not above average. Be careful now.
What?
We can get to the numbers.
What?
So this offense is not above average?
The offense, but he ain't.
Is this offense above average?
Ain't but
The coordinator is not above average.
that
No,
coordinator is
offense
above
average. Yes,
No,
No, both of them it's not like a chain. It's not like a chain.
Just like I'm being realistic about
You're not
Steele.
being realistic about Steele.
Yes, I am. I just said he's been at C at best. What do you mean? That's as real, especially coming off of an injury.
That's very optimistic.
Okay. Anyways, and if I'm being real about Mike McCarthy all season long, he ain't been that good, bro.
Based on Joshua, just because the offense is top 5, above average, that means McCarthy is above average. See, he tied all of them together. So that means hold on.
Steele should get credit for that too. Then
Exactly, Steele should be above average too. If you add everybody to above average because of the offense, they all above average.
The numbers say we got the top 5 offense in the league. The numbers say that because that is the
coordinators are judged on offense. Tackles are based on how much pressures they're doing. He's number 75 of 85, and we gotta understand what you want me to say.
All of that inclusive with offense. All of that inclusive with offense. All of that. Everybody on the offensive squad is inclusive with where we at right now. All of them.
Yes. So he puts them in favorable positions, right? So you mean to tell me that
who put 2 in favorable positions?
Okay, so I get it. CD Lamb is a very good. He's elite wide receiver. Like we all agree on that,
give him the ball too. So I'm lucky that he's that we are top because he didn't stop throwing to that dude for late. That he had to go talk to McCarthy, man. He had to go talk to McCarthy. What he said? What Dak said? CD went to talk to McCarthy
that day, and one of I think like his second catch in the day was an off-script play.
Yes,
it wasn't an off-script.
It was.
That was all Dak and CD.
That was.
That had
he still had over 200 yards.
Mike McCarthy.
But McCarthy gained a little bit.
You take that one play away, he still had over 100 yards.
But still,
regardless.
No, that 200 yard didn't go to Mike McCarthy though. Exactly.
Going back in the game and giving you 5 more plays.
It's still he's still an above average. Look, he's
above average.
No matter how you slice it, he's still above average.
No, you know what to go back to. You know what to go back to, Joshua. You know what to go back to, Joshua. It goes back to this. When you always say the players.
Mike McCarthy's top 10 in offensive play calling. He is. He is. He's top 10, not top 5. He's top 10.
Hey, Dad, I don't want to hear it. Steele is top 10 tackles in the league. Because guess what? He's still part of that O-line that helped this coordinator, above average coordinator, lead this offense to top 10.
That's not even the same thing that I'm saying. How do you judge an offensive coordinator? So you don't judge an offensive coordinator based on the points they put up?
I judge an offensive coordinator based on the plays that they're putting on the field.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
And also the points that they put up.
Busted plays and all that don't go to the offensive coordinators, but they're getting credit for it.
If that's the case, Josh, if that's the case, then why did Kellen Moore get fired?
He was the number 1 offense.
He had number 1 offenses 3 times.
Based on everybody else, he wasn't.
I can give him even more credit because when he didn't have Dak Prescott and he had to do it with the backup Cooper Rush, and they was over there talking about Cooper Rush should be the starting quarterback because he was still winning games with Kellen Moore with a reduced playbook, and he was still winning games and putting up points. Not as much as Dak Prescott.
They weren't putting up nearly the amount of points.
They wasn't.
Mainly the defense.
Still winning games and putting up
it was the defense.
Points.
It was the defense.
Defense could do all. Defense wasn't scoring points.
They were still winning games.
No. We ranked number 1 in offensive last year.
You still have to give credit to him.
Weren't we ranked number 1 in offense last year?
Huh?
Weren't we ranked number 1 in offense last year?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
And I was one of the main people that said I didn't understand the whole firing of what's his name.
Oh my
God. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that deal.
So
I'm Kellen Moore.
So what's happened is, so you got a number 1 offense. You change the offensive coordinators, and we go from number 1 to where we at now.
We slightly regressed.
Okay, I'm just saying.
So you went from number 1 to because you can only regress From like, who are you talking? You can't get better than number one.
But you can remain number one. Hello.
What team remained number one offense?
You can remain
throughout
number one?
the years. Not even Pat Mahomes' offense remained number one. Are you serious?
So if I go back,
well, he wasn't number one last year. Pat Mahomes wasn't number one last year.
Pat Mahomes. If I go back right now, Josh, you telling me Pat Mahomes in the years that he had Tyreek Hill, and then in the year after he lost Tyreek Hill, he still ain't having top 5 offenses?
I didn't say top 5. I said number one.
Number one. Okay.
Number one. He didn't have number one back to back.
Okay, we'll see it right now. That's crazy.
My thing is above average. You make it seem like all of that. We was number one. The players gave you number one.
No, see you're
the
putting
players
words
give
in
you
my
number
mouth.
one. You put
Just
somebody else in there, then it went. Then we regressed.
Why does above average mean you're number one? That doesn't even make any sense. You can't just be above if you're not above. You're only above average if you're number one.
I didn't say that.
But there's 99.9% of all play callers are below average.
So Kellen Moore is above average to you?
He's average to above average, yes.
Average to above average?
Actually, he's above average. Yeah, he's above average to me. Yeah.
Because he was number one offense, you got to give him that, right?
So he's above average.
So somebody that took your same team and got worse, what was he? Still
What
above
about-
average?
Still above average. What about
I
Scott Linehan?
don't know how you
Scott
calculate
Linehan?
that. I don't know
Above
how you
average?
calculate that.
Well, that kind of got you there.
How you calculate
That
that?
kind of.
What are you talking about?
Because look, you just said that Kellen Moore is an average to above average coordinator. When he was with Dallas Cowboys, he had the best.
And then I said, yeah.
offense
Then I correct myself and I said he was
Hold
above
on,
average.
Let me finish. Yeah, you say he's above average, right? So if he's an above average coordinator, he had the number one offense when he was with Dallas, I think 2 years. And then he leaves. Our offense regresses and not just the pass offense, not just total, but the run as well. So we regress, but somehow, even though we regressed, Mike McCarthy is still above average coordinator.
Yes.
That don't make
He's still above average. Yes, it does make sense.
Calculation don't add up.
Yes,
it does.
That's
Yes,
not
it
matching
does.
in my head.
Yes, yeah, it definitely does make sense.
Because Mike McCarthy shouldn't be on the same par as Kellen Moore.
Or
because
even
Kellen Moore
higher.
had the number one.
Basically got fired. Even
What?
higher.
Kellen Moore had Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard.
Come
He
on,
had-
man.
He had
Really?
Terrence
Man,
Steele.
let's stop it.
Really?
He had
You about to
Terrence
go
Steele
there?
before he got hurt.
You about to go there?
Zeke was not the same Zeke. Come
He
on,
had
man. Let's
Terrence Steele
not act
before he
like.
got hurt.
Come on, man. Come on. Let's stop it.
He had
Let's
Terrence
stop
Steele
it.
before he got
It's
hurt.
not my fault.
So, yeah.
It's not my fault that Mike McCarthy don't want to use Donald. That's not my fault. Donald is a better running back than Ezekiel Elliott.
Was
What are
last
we
year.
talking about?
Definitely.
As a matter of fact, there was handicapping Kellen. As a matter of fact, there was
Hold up. We just
right
what happened?
now.
I can. You cut off on me.
Of course.
Right now, Donald is not. I said it's not my fault that Mike McCarthy does not want to utilize Donald to his fullest ability. It's not my
So you're
fault.
saying right now Donald is a better running back than Ezekiel Elliott?
Was
right now.
last year.
Wow.
Right now, for
Wow.
us right now,
Was
Wow.
look what is he doing with the Patriots? What do you
A
mean?
lot.
Wow.
He's doing a lot.
He's doing a
He's
lot.
doing a lot.
He ain't doing
He's
nothing.
doing way more than Dowdle's doing.
What is he doing? Yeah, he's doing way more than Dowdle. That's why I said it's not my fault that Mike McCarthy doesn't want to utilize Dowdle. That's not my fault. Just like last year, Kellen Moore, we was all saying, hands down, yo, what is he good for? 3-and-1, a goal line.
Power runnings.
Exactly. Power running.
Who are we missing?
Hey.
Who are we missing right now?
But
Those
guess
power
what?
runs.
But guess what? We also said, yo, Zeke ain't the guy no more. It's Pollard.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that last year?
No, I wanted Ezekiel Elliott to play this year.
Okay, let me continue my point. I said we should keep Zeke too, but he shouldn't be the starting running back because to me that was stupid. Zeke should not have been the starting running back. He should be.
I agree.
A third down
I
running back.
agree. Okay,
That's
I
what
agree
I'm
with
saying.
that.
So let me get to my point. They literally hog-tied Kellen Moore's hands. So you telling me my best running back, my true best running back, if we're just talking about running, We're not talking about blocking and scheming blocks, whatever, and getting into because I believe they could have gave some of them touchdowns on goal line to Pollard because I think Pollard could get in on goal line, but they gave him a chunk of them to
It didn't seem that way against the Miami Dolphins. Was that the coordinator's fault or was that his fault?
I think we had two. I think we had two goal lines. We were one for two.
So you trying to tell me that that was all the coordinator's fault?
You're talking about that one play where it looked like he had the whole end zone open. Okay, whatever. Anyways, my point is, we all said Pollard should be a starting quarterback. Pollard should be the starting running back. But guess what? Because Zeke is getting the bulk of the money, they're still gonna trot him out there as the starting running back. Basically tying Kellen Moore's hands. Because think how much better the offense would have been if Kellen Moore was just free to do whatever he wanted and started Pollard like everybody in their mamas could clearly see he had the better legs and just use Zeke situationally, third downs and on goal line.
And just so you know,
that's my point.
Right.
Go ahead, Dad. Tell us the facts.
No, I was just about to say the Chargers, they had first place offense and first place defense. 2010 Chargers. Both had offense and defense.
Okay, so that was 13 years ago. Got it. All right.
Yeah, but you say never had. So never and 13 years ago is two different things.
No, we weren't talking about defense. We were talking about running and passing, first in both.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Well, either that's kind of cool, though. That they still have the number one offense and defense. And they still Super Bowl, did they? That's crazy. That is crazy. But, yeah, that's super, super crazy. But what I was saying is that I think that he's still like top 10. And so like he's still an above average coordinator, but like a coordinator. But here's the thing: like, are there like holes in his plans? Yes, of course, right. But like the player, the coaches that we would want to get above him, they're not gonna. Those teams are not gonna give them up. They're either gonna go to a head coaching position or they're gonna stay there.
Well, I'm sorry.
So there's
what's that
really
question? I missed that question.
There's not really that many coordinators above Mike. I don't say that many. There's only about 9 I see that's above Mike McCarthy right now.
I probably beg to differ. I'm pretty sure at the end of the season, they're gonna come out with all of their gurus of who should be hired at what, who should be doing what. Maybe a college guy comes back and like I think you can find coordinators. I mean, all throughout the league, like not just our league, but in the college as well. You find coordinators. I mean, Kellen Moore was just so happened, just fell on our lap. He was our backup quarterback and turned coordinator. So I think they're all around league. It's just a matter of getting a shot or an opportunity. I mean, look at McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels is a head coach.
I know he became a head coach, but I'm just saying you could find I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones could find himself a coordinator. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I literally think that. I mean, maybe so, but from what we're seeing now, I don't think that they're going to give away the play calling abilities from Mike McCarthy based off the season. And there's been coordinators that they took away the play calling abilities.
Well, no, because he still has. I might take it away from him because I'm saying you told me that I would have a better run game, and I don't. You told me we need to run the ball more, and we don't.
Even the last interview with Tony Pollard, he even stated that like it was in the year that what he wanted. Like he there were some things that he should have took back. So I mean, I just don't.
What do you mean? The things that he should take back? What should he have taken back?
Like different routes or whatever like that. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but I'm just saying like there's different way. Like he could have run better and stuff like that. It's not like what he envisioned.
Last year?
This year.
I'm pretty
Or
sure
this season. I can say this because this year's only about what you call
Okay,
it.
but that's still okay. That's he could probably say that, but at the end of the day, look how many opportunities he gets in the situations that they put him in. It's still on the coordinator. Like they don't prioritize running the football. Whether you, like, I don't know what we're talking about. They don't prioritize running football. They
I
don't
mean, yeah,
scheme.
they don't.
They don't
So you
scheme.
think they should? So do you
They
think
don't
they should
scheme
prioritize
smartly.
running the football more than
No,
running
I don't. Cause
passing the
not it's
football?
too. No, I don't. I think it's too late at this point. I think you should try to figure out how to uh, scramble up some type of a run game because you're gonna need it in the playoffs.
Weren't
You're
they
gonna
doing
need,
that in the beginning of the year? Weren't they prioritizing the run game more than they were the
but
offense?
it wasn't working.
Right.
That's the
And so
thing.
what did they do? They
It
changed
what
it up. Like that's I mean, and that's a sign of an above average coordinator. Like he's not going to stick to his guns and everything like
That's
that.
not the size of an above average coordinator. Just because you have the willingness, like if I know I'm gonna lose my job, I know I gotta make stuff shake. Like what? I'm in my fourth season already, and I already gave up the which a good coordinator who had us in top in 2001. We were the number one offense, and then in 2002 we was the number two. We was the number three offense. So yeah, I know this is not to our standards, so I got to make something shake. Like I'm not
Yeah.
giving him kudos for that.
So you want the offense you're going to change the offense based off of like they're not in the top 5 in both categories. Right?
What?
I'm gonna switch my coordinator. Is that what you're saying?
You're going to switch your coordinator because they're not top 5 in both running and
I'm gonna switch my coordinator because my coordinator is my head coach, and my head coach has already been giving. I've already given him 5 good years, well, 4 or 5 good years, to get us to the promised land, and situationally, clock management wise, he's been god awful. He's in situational football. He's been god awful.
I
Probably
agree.
probably one of the worst.
I
And
agree.
now he wants to take away my offensive coordinator because he thinks he could do it better. Did he do it better? No, he didn't. And because of that, I know like, hey, okay, well, now what am I going to do going forward? I can either let Diane Quinn walk, or I can let Diane Quinn be head coach, and I could find me another offensive coordinator. I could possibly bring Kellen Moore back. I could possibly go find
I just
somebody
don't
else.
understand that. And so here's my thing, right? Because they changed their whole entire offense. I don't care what he says that he did about 10 or 20%. They changed everything to the whole like from the cadence. The cadence was even different, right? They changed the whole entire cadence. So you're trying to say they went from of course they're going to like they're not going to go to like number 1 offense again because of the fact that, you know, uh they were just switching to that off they were just switching that offense. They were just switching it was like almost a wholesale change, right? They didn't have the same personnel like they have. But I bet you come next year they're probably going to be better, right? But I'm not going to try to say it like I, in a sense I am defending Mike McCarthy, but in
Yes, you
another
are.
sense I'm not. Like
Yes.
there's some things that he needs to do better, right? The run game, I agree. He needs to have a way better running game. They need to figure it out whether it's personnel or whether it's scheme or whatever like that, right? But you can't tell me here that he's not an above average coordinator when I'm seeing like the points that have been put on the board time after time after time after time.
But here's the thing, though.
But my
I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing, though. You know, I don't need my NFL $1 million player coordinator to have to get his ideas based on you and I, Joshua, you and I, Jordan. We see and we yell at him about things to do. It comes all the way down to the receiver himself, which we keep saying, why are you not throwing the ball to CD? So you get Dak Prescott to come up here and say, well, you know, what happened was, you know, CD went and had a talk with the coordinator and told him that I can do more. Well, everybody and their grandparents saw that he can do more. But for some reason, our coordinator didn't see that. But it took him to have a talk on the side to say, look, man, You should give me the ball. The players should come towards me now. Now they
The same
change the
thing happened
plays.
with
Now they change the
the same thing happened with Kellen Moore with Amari Cooper.
This would come out of Dak's mouth. This what he said would happen. The reason why they start putting CD more in the game now. They put more targeting him more because of the conversation that they had to the coordinator. Why did it take all of that? We saw it
Because it does that with it does that with a lot of teams that you see that they say that. Tyreek said
Whatever, man.
CD said it. AJ Brown said it. Amari Cooper has said it with Kellen Moore. I mean, not Divas receivers, excuse me. The number one receivers are always going to say that. They're always going to think that Dez Bryant said it. Like they're going to say that with
Dez Brown was getting all the balls though. I mean, it wouldn't. It was like nobody. There was nobody. It's not like Tony put up. He was throwing to him. It was like he wasn't getting the ball. You would get to the point you saw CeeDee Lamb get like three passes to the whole freaking game. Like, what? That don't even make any sense. Who does that?
The same thing happened with Amari Cooper, and Kellen Moore was doing the same thing.
No.
Stephon Diggs.
No.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek
Hill. Josh McDaniel. Tyreek Hill wasn't getting the ball in some games.
Okay, getting the ball some games and then making it because that's two different things.
Right.
Not getting the ball some game because the defense schemes you not to be able to get the ball because you're Tyreek Hill is different from just blatantly going away from your number one receiver. And I don't think that Tyreek Hill has gone this whole season without a target if he wasn't playing in the game.
In the beginning of the season, I'm not agreeing with this. I'm not agreeing with what he said, right? I'm not. Let me preface that with that, okay? I'm not agreeing with what Mike McCarthy did. But in the beginning of the season, nobody was getting the ball because they were trying to establish a run. Do I agree with that? No, but that was the reason why. And they were like, hey, this run is not working. Hey, how about giving me the ball and that will be more successful?
No, that's
right?
not what it was. It wasn't the fact that it went from the run. The reason why this dude wasn't getting the ball because they were trying to get the run. They weren't going at him. He wasn't target of the plays. They were throwing everywhere. Even your lovable guy Gallup, which I still don't even know why that dude was still in the game. But it seemed like everybody else was getting passes, but there was no pass selected for a CD. There was like this player was designed for this guy. And that's the reason why he had that conversation. I needed to be in no design plays because I can do that.
All I'm trying to say is this: is that
your guy's not above average. That's what you're trying to say.
I agree with you that he needed to talk to the defensive coordinator, right? And I agree with you that they were trying to that they didn't give him the ball in the beginning, right? But he changed it, and
he got talked to.
Okay, so whatever happened, right? Whether he talked to or not, he still changed it.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Give him credit for that.
Right? I mean, but an average coordinator would not do that.
Why not?
That's true. I don't think that's true.
An average coordinator would not do that. Are you serious?
That's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I need to see the proof in the pudding for you to say that. I think I also think that if Mike McCarthy wouldn't be in the hot seat, he might not have changed his ways.
Right.
I think it's all.
The reason why they're saying he's in the hot seat is because of the fact they're like, if he doesn't go to the NFC Championship, he's in the hot seat.
On top of how last season went and the season before that went,
and the promise that he was making,
and the projections of how good our team was is why he's in the hot seat. You can't.
It's weird because I mean, you typically the offensive coordinator and the head coach. I mean, this dude has about to have 3 seasons with at least 12 wins, but apparently this dude is just.
But
average.
This is the first season that he was an offensive coordinator, right? Okay, he fired the one who got you there the last couple of times.
So he had 12. He's about to be, if winning this game would be 12-5. Last year was 12-5. And I think the year before that was also double digit. I forgot what the year before that was.
No, I don't think it was. I think that was it the 2023, 2020,
2021.
So maybe, yeah. Because the year before that, Dak broke his leg. So 2021, what were they? 2021, they were 12-5.
Yeah.
And
So,
we
yeah,
can easily say that this year 12-5, it ain't because of him, because he almost screwed that up a couple of games. We could have been 10 and
Well,
10
we've
and
been
6.
saying that a lot through his whole tenure here. Is he and there actually been games where he literally we felt like he lost us the game. Outside of last year's playoff game versus the 49ers, which I also put on Dak and I put on McCarthy because Dak played a bad game, but it didn't seem like Mike McCarthy had them ready to play that game. And that was just based off of head coach. But I don't know. Like, I guess we keep him one more year.
Yeah.
And do what?
But it's when we're talking about coaches and all of these other things, man, it's a goal, because you got NFL, we got elite players out there, we got elite coaches, we got elite everything out there, right? And good thing for Aubrey, because that boy's kicking his butt off. But regardless of all of that, all of the things that we have, it's a small, it's minute between a win and a loss. And trying to get to the Super Bowl, when you get to the playoff, we need those guys. We need a healthy, very concentrating freaking offensive coach that get us above that. Even when our players, just like nobody can go back and like, oh man, this dude is about to call. He know what to do. He can see the defense. He know what to call. Whatever. Blah blah blah. He ain't getting that, and that's what we need. So I don't know how many of them out there. I just know he's not that. And what
is Mike McCarthy the best offensive coordinator in the division?
In the division?
You don't have to think about it. You're just mad because he is.
I'm mad because I don't want to say Nick Sirianni. That's why.
Right. Because I don't want to say anything with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, okay, then whoever the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles is, I would say I think might slightly. See, the thing is
because of the tush push.
But how you gonna say that just because of the one play?
I didn't say that. Jeez.
I know you just brought that up. It's because of the tush push. How does that? How did you add that to that?
I'm trying to figure out. Why is Philadelphia's off? Because they changed the offensive coordinator this year. They didn't have the same offensive coordinator last year.
But that was more, to me, that was scapegoat, because they was fine with how they was doing up until
because the offensive coordinator got a head coaching position.
Back-to-back losses. That's I'm just saying that because up until that point, because they didn't want to look at that's outside of the coordinator's responsibility. That was outside of them not wanting to come to terms with, hey, we don't run the ball as good as we did last year, or we're not sticking to the run. Hey, Jalen isn't really taking the next step, and that's what it really comes down to. It. And they want to say all this. They got the best. We were saying they got the best. One of the best O-lines in all football.
That's just personnel. That's personnel.
That's what I'm saying. You got one of the best O-lines in all of football,
and you're still,
for some reason, your quarterback isn't taking, because his stats are similar to last year with more picks. He wasn't that sensational last year, but he was winning, right? It was all you want to laugh at.
I'm just saying.
Look, if Mike McCarthy was just the offensive coordinator, I would have less like pushback against you, Josh. But he's my head coach and my offensive coordinator. That's the issue. He's making not just in-game decisions, situational decisions. Hey, do I need to call a timeout for Dak so he doesn't take this a delay of game and push us back
5 yards?
I agree with you with that.
And also,
like he's not
still,
very good when it comes to that.
Exactly. And then on top of, he's got to think. He's got too much to think about.
And he's not equipped for it. He's not equipped with doing all that.
What play am I going to call on 2nd and 12? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Equipped. Nope. You're saying he's not equipped?
Because he's not.
I want to say he's not equipped.
Well, he hasn't been doing it, so what would you say?
I said he got too much to think about. Who said not? I didn't say he's not equipped.
I said it.
Oh.
Because I said, because look, if he were, he would be doing it, but he's not. So what can I say?
You sure?
Because you know I'm like you calling a timeout on a onside kick and give him a second chance. Who does that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Who does that? I mean, an above average coordinator does that. I'm sure.
He got away with it. He got away with it.
He got
Atlanta
away
Falcons in 2020.
If you got away with something, that must mean you committed the crime. But you got away.
He got away with it. Not what I mean. Like that saved the team because he called the timeout. I think it was in 2020 when he did that, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a dumb call,
right?
And that's the head coach doing that.
Say again?
That was a dumb call, and it was the head coach doing it.
Like I understand what you're saying, right? But if the team is scoring, if you're seeing a lot of 40 burgers on the team, that means that I'm not saying he's fully equipped, but it seems like he's doing a decent job.
He does. Okay.
Like we said, the reason why Dak Prescott is not going to be an MVP candidate at the end of the day, MVP candidate, but not going to be one or two, is why? Because he didn't beat the teams he needed to beat. Mike McCarthy, you can put up 40 all you want to on everybody who's 500 and below, but anybody above 500, when it's time to play 49ers,
when the big boys play.
When it's time to play the Eagles,
when it's
time to play Buffalo, when it's time to play the Dolphins,
he don't show up.
When it's time to go on the road,
don't show up.
Isn't your team performing at the same level as when they play out home?
Didn't they against the Miami? Didn't he put them in the position to win? And so it was on the defense that lost the game against the Miami.
True.
Am I wrong on that?
You can get that one, but what about Bills?
Bills were all him. I don't even care if it was a torrential downpour.
Okay. What about the 49ers?
The 49ers are 49ers.
Okay. What about the Cardinals?
You're giving the Cardinals.
That's what I'm saying.
But they have no offensive line. But I'm saying what about all the 12 games that they won though? The 12 games. He's doing
but that's what Jordan said. He playing against subpar teams. That's why he got a lot of wins. But when he played the teams that matter, he didn't.
Subpar teams.
Yeah, when he played a subpar team, when he played the best team, it didn't matter.
Detroit subpar?
No, I didn't say Detroit.
Seahawks is subpar?
But we can go through the Detroit game
that's only
like
two.
We already have. I mean, you was ready to go make scrambled eggs because you couldn't believe what Mike McCarthy and then what CD too. Let's take CD out because you was ready to go make some scrambled eggs and weenies.
I mean, CD also fumbled that.
Outside of the CD fumble, because even before that, you was like, all right, it looked like the Lions is going to beat us. Because it did look like that for a minute. It was shaky. Then it looked like we was going to go and put the game away. Then it turned out we weren't going to put the game away.
Do we consider the Eagles a mediocre team?
I always consider the Eagles a mediocre team.
Yep, he been on record saying that.
I told you from the start when you was like, their roster is better than ours from top to bottom.
Yeah, you were putting a lot. You were putting a lot on AJ Brown. You was putting a lot. You were putting a lot on AJ Brown.
Except for the quarterback, I don't think they have the right coordinators. I don't think they have the right coordinators.
You put a lot. You put a lot on the Eagles. You put a lot on the Eagles. You've been putting a lot.
You want to talk about So if you want to talk about average to below average coordinators, you got to say that's on the Eagles' defensive coordinator and the Eagles' offensive coordinator. There are average to above to below average.
No, the quarterback. Jordan was always saying the quarterback wasn't that good. He didn't never trust the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't trust the quarterback. I believe. I mean, you have the best O-line and you have some of the best. I would say probably top 5 best receiving corps in the league.
Yeah,
and then you got the second. Yeah, I think you got the second best receiver. You got the third. You got the third. You got the third best receiver in the league on your team, who also helped propel that team. Because at one point I was saying AJ Brown, if anybody, because when they were saying Jalen should be MVP, I said nah, AJ Brown should be the MVP. Back when there was Jalen was up for MVP odds. So yeah,
the Jalen Hurts is not bad if he's up for MVP and he's got the team to the Super Bowl. So the quarterback's not that bad.
No, but the rooster came the rooster came in the morning to howl the rooster to bring up the sun, and the sun was all the issues that they refused to believe that Jalen had. Jalen can only, like we said, he don't stay in the pocket and throw the football. When he has to stay in the pocket, throw the football, he's not accurate.
I understand that, but when you have that level of talent around you, the offensive coordinator should put you in a favorable position.
What do you want him to do when he can't get the football to you?
He can get the football to them. Right?
Gosh,
once again,
we shut that man down the second time we play him.
Yes. The Dallas Cowboys are a very good team.
And that had nothing to do. Well, actually, AJ Brown should have never woke up Gilmore. But outside of that, that dude, if he's not scrambling out of the pocket, looking outside of the pocket, seeing what he has downfield, he's not as lethal.
Okay.
Especially
again,
when he's not running.
I'm using, which is you guys have great logic on this, right? And I'm using the same logic that you guys have with Mike McCarthy to the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. He is not a good coordinator.
That's not his fault. What?
So it's not his fault, but it's Mike McCarthy's fault.
He literally dialed up plays to put them in the position to be 12-5.
Did Mike McCarthy not put dial up plays to put them in position to be 12-5?
No. Just like that one touchdown.
Say he did.
That's like that one touchdown.
The difference is, right? Mike McCarthy got the superior quarterback. I watched Mike McCarthy games, and I can say Dak bailed Mike McCarthy out more than times than Mike McCarthy bailed Dak out by drawing up great plays.
Yes.
I can see Jalen can't. The offensive coordinator for the Eagles, his playbook is this. When Mike McCarthy's is this. You can't even see it. It's this versus this. Jalen can only hit this amount of different throws, this amount of different schemes versus Dak's level of ability. And that's just because Dak can run out of the pocket like Jalen. But Dak can also make every single
Well, not
throw.
as good as Jalen. He cannot run as good as Jalen.
What?
That's probably not as fast, but he can still run like Jalen.
Don't even tell me that he's as fast. Because he
said not as fast. He said not as fast.
Not you.
Oh.
You're saying that Dak is as fast as Jalen Hurts.
Who said that?
No, but
Okay.
But guess what? He's still big body. What do you tell him? I'm a big body. They
keep on talking about Jalen Hurts' legs. They keep on talking about how much he can squat and everything. So I mean, I guess Jalen Hurts is a big body too.
Yeah, he is. He is that.
But I guess his arm not.
He's no. You don't have one of those. You don't have one of those.
He still need to go.
I've seen him do.
He need to get out the gym and get on the field and start figuring it out with his receivers, how he can get it together.
Check this out. We gonna come back tomorrow.
We went way over time.
Yes, we way over time. We gonna come back, but I have to let it go. But we gonna come back tomorrow, right after this game. We're gonna talk about this game here.
We are.
And we're gonna talk about the season.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys winning 40-10.
40-10. Okay, Jordan, what you got? What you got, Jordan?
I got the Cowboys 10-15.
Wow. I got the Cowboys 17-16.
17-16?
Oh, no, you're tripping, Dad. I'm with Josh. It's going to be like 10-30, 10-40.
Okay, I get, it might be 17-13. I get them 13. 17-13, Dallas.
17-13?
Dak
Yes.
must not be playing. Dak must not be playing.
That's probably the reason why.
Look, Dak must not be playing.
No, I said it because I don't trust our coordinator.
You tripping.
Did you not trust the coordinator when they beat the brakes off of the Commanders?
The first time.
It was like 45-10.
Oh yeah, at home.
Wow.
Look, Dad. This is a game where I don't need to trust the coordinator because my players are just gonna show up and blow them out.
Well, that's how McCarthy was getting the wins before because the players overplayed and played better for what
they
he
overplayed.
gave.
That's what it was. They overplayed.
Exactly.
That's what it was. They overplayed.
All right, here we go. if you guys, this is your first time seeing us, I know we long today, but if you just the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down there, because we're gonna give it what it is. We're gonna give it to you straight, because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? There's no half stepping. There's no, you know what I'm saying? When we talk straight. That's what we do here, setting it straight with fam. So check this out. I want you to go ahead on and do that. Come see us tomorrow, because after this game, we hit this Washington Redskins. Yeah, we're gonna beat them. That's what we're gonna do. But if we get close, we all know who it's come from. But there we go. And now we're going to put on the SA.
Let's get it.